Good morning, guys. Yesterday I did this 3D printed rubber band powered car. When I say 3D printed, that bit is a bit of wooden dowel, but the rest of it, all the yellow stuff, is 3D printed. A couple of CDs for the back wheels and bicycle spokes or 2mm steel rods for the axles, and all the yellow stuff 3D printed. Found a minor problem with it, that the wooden dowel wasn't entirely straight. So depending on which way you twisted it, it could either go left, right or straight. If you arranged for the bow in it to be that way, top to bottom, then it'd go straight, but if you had it curving that way, it'd go left, or curving that way, it'd go right. It's not much of a curve. In fact, I don't know if the camera will even pick it up. I'm trying to look along the length of it. No, I don't think the camera will see it. Especially not when the camera lens tends to distort things anyway. Anyway, I did mention that I had plans for it anyway, that I was going to do something else to it. So this was going to be version 1. And I also said I thought I had some carbon fibre tube somewhere. And I did. So I've reprinted the axle tubes, I suppose I could call them. One reason I had to reprint them was that rod is thicker than that rod. This is 6mm, I think. So I had to make the holes smaller. And as usual, I've made them smaller, but in the printing there's a bit of deformation or rubbish in there, one way or the other, and it's too tight to go in there anyway. I could jam it in there, but I will drill it out. The carbon fibre tube comes from one of my old kites that was broken, and it's actually split in several places, so I've cut out the good bits and thrown away the split bits. So that's our new chassis rail tube. Need to drill that one out to make it fit. Then another thing that I've done is on the ends here, the PLA or the moulding is so thin that it's actually breaking apart, and I'd already had an idea that I would try a different way of fitting the axle. Rather than it going through the tubes, this time I've made little sort of keyhole slots, so we can just clip the axle straight in. So I'm going to break this one out if I can. Yeah, and so that should fit in there. Now, as usual, I made it to be an interference fit, but in the printing, the PLA does, well, it doesn't do exactly what it should. So you'll see in some places that's a nice tight clip. There we go. In other places it's quite loose, but that won't matter because it's going to be that way up. So it's not going to drop out because the weight will be on it. I could put another piece over it just to make sure it doesn't drop out, but that looks fine. I've also made that distance a little bit bigger so that if we need to, we can put the thicker adapter on there. So I'll just drill out the other end and fit it on there. So this is where we're going to try my adapter piece. There. So we've now got a thicker back axle to give us greater leverage. Well, I'm going to claim that as a complete success. So what we did there was made the back axle thicker to give us more leverage. And that enabled us to use the skinny rubber band. So it's all to do with gearing. We give it plenty of power and we just shot up that ramp. I am pleased with that. When I tried to do it, however many years ago it was, it didn't quite manage it. And I think I was using more power. But we're now using high technology, carbon fibre tube, 3D printed parts, and we've got the height. Yeah. Pleased with myself.